And now we are getting into a visual novel, which is Stories from Seoul, the Gundog, which is like a sci-fi, almost like Gundam is the best thing that I could describe what it reminds me of. Since it is so story-focused, I kind of just want to read just a little blurb about the story here for y'all. War is over. War is just beginning. Planetary Calendar 214. 4 years have passed since the end of the Solar War. Our protagonist, scarred from the loss of their crewmates in the war, is reassigned to the Jovian patrol ship Gundog as it's dispatched with orders to investigate mysterious signals coming from the edge of Jovian space. Unknown to the Gundog's crew, a new danger looms in the ocean of stars, threatening not just the Gundog, but all her crew. I'm gonna go ahead and start it. I love it's like a Zaku almost. September 21st, Planetary Calendar 209. Following a raft of oppressive policies and crackdowns from the Earth-based government of the Solar Federation, the joint forces of the Martian territories and the Jovian United Colony Fleet rebelled. This conflict came to be known as the Solar War. The war carried on for 3 years, but eventually the combined forces of the Martian territories and Jovian Unified Colony Fleet managed to push the Federation military all the way back to planet Earth. In the final days of the conflict, a pitched battle was fought in lunar orbit that would decide the war's victor. Lunar orbit. Hi, Mignit. Aboard the Jovian carrier JFS Kalki? You reflexively tighten your grip on your armored frame's twin flight sticks as another wave of vibrations reverberates through the cockpit. The creak of your new flight suit and your quickening breath are the only sounds that you hear above the gentle hum of the frame's subsystems. As you squeeze the controls tighter, their plastic casings creak under the pressure. You try and stay calm, knowing that these gentle vibrations are remnants of huge shockwaves that are buffeting the Kaliki. I gotta figure out how I'm actually gonna say that. Kaliki. Kalike? I feel like Kaliki sounds better, maybe. The carrier that you're stationed on. Each one is a near miss as an explosion tears through the space around the ship. You try to push the thought from your mind and focus on controlling your breathing, but you've already realized that their frequency means the Kaliki must be approaching the front line. Your squadron will be launching soon, and you'll be engaging in your first real sortie. Your first real flight, in fact. You feel your throat tighten. Simulations are as good as the real thing. That's what your trainer told all of you. But you know that pilots are supposed to have hundreds of hours of live flights and training exercises in real armored frames before they're allowed anywhere near the front lines. Of course that didn't happen. Command had told you that the modern simulators meant cadets could graduate without the need for these exercises. You'd overheard the rumors, though. The Jovian colony fleet had lost a lot of pilots, and still wanting to keep pace with the Martian advance against Earth, had resorted to fielding anyone who could fight. So they kind of were just like, hey, we need bodies, get out there, go and fight in this meat grinder. It's kind of what it sounds like. Ooh, not a good place to be. Your whole squadron is just like you, freshly conscripted from Europa Colony. You'd undergone basic training there, but almost all of your flight training had taken place on the cruiser's journey from Jovian space. You wonder how the others are feeling right now, whether... I love this. Maintenance crew. Kaliki 5, this is the flight deck. We're preparing your squad for takeoff. Running last-minute diagnostics on your frame. Activating all systems. Now. Alright, looks all good to go. We'll run a few more checks, then we'll have your spaceport in a few minutes. You ready to show those Terrans who's boss? Damn straight, ready to kick some ass. I feel like this is a little extra. I'm gonna go with just the ... I feel like my character would be a bit more like on edge about like, oh, this is a lot. Your mind races as you try to think up a response that will convince not just the engineer, but yourself, too, that everything is going to be alright. Instead, your mouth dries up and your heart feels like it's about to burst from your chest. The flight sticks creak more loudly as you squeeze them tighter, as if any moment now you may snap them in half. Hey pilot, everything okay in there? Comms green? After taking a few deep breaths, it eventually feels like you have a modicum of control again. You release your grip on the flight sticks and lean back into your chair. This is Calicky 5, comms green. Just a bit. Well there, Calicky 5. Nothing wrong with feeling the jitters. Tell you what, what's your name, pilot? Am I playing a... Actually, I don't know. I don't know the identity of my character. Do they have like a... Do they have like a specific like art that's even applied to them? I don't know. I guess I can just do Merriwin, and that can be like a first or a last name depending on... This is what I like to go with typically. Merriwin. That's his first name, doesn't it? Well, Merriwin still works. Either way. What's your surname? What can be my surname? Thank you for the hydrate, Henrix. Merriwin... Merri Mellow. Right, we got the same idea. Take care, Henrix, yeah. Or Mellow. Ooh, I like the without the W, kinda, because that makes it look just a little bit more like a maybe like a more normal surname. Merri Mellow. Merri Mellow. Yeah, I'll do that. Oh, you can! Yeah, you genuinely... I didn't realize that it gave you this much choice. It's really cool. Merri Mellow. That right? Yes. Okay, Ensign Mellow. First up, take a few deep breaths for me. In and out. Nice and slow. You got that? You draw in one long measured breath and hold it, then release it. Following the engineer's instructions, you repeat this a few more times. After a while, you begin to feel your pulse slow and some of the tension in your body slip away. You still feel on edge, but you feel slightly more in control. Alright, there we go. Now listen up, Ensign. You ain't got a thing to worry about out there. The way I've heard it is that all the Terran's best pilots were taken care of between here and Mars. Heck, Martians are the ones who have been leading the charge today, so they're the ones taking all the flack. Propaganda machines selling this as our decisive strike against Earth's last line of defense. But between you and me, it ain't nothing more than a mopping up situation. A buddy of mine in operations said as much in the canteen last night. Besides, you hear a dull ring over the comms and sit bolt upright in your seat, slouching back and exhaling as you realize it's nothing more than the engineer striking the cockpit armor on your frame. This beauty here's a work of art. Terran frames ain't got nothing on her. She's all tuned up and ready to go. Probably spent more time with this one than I have with my own kid. So don't you worry. Remember what they taught you in training and leave the rest up to her, and you'll come out of this just fine. Despite your startled reaction a moment ago, the engineer's confidence is infectious, and it's starting to rub off on you. You adjust your position in your seat so that you're sat up straight, and the soft hum of the frame systems now seems more comforting than ominous. Thank you for the lantern, Peanut. Just a mopping up operation, you think. Martians have done all the work, so we're sitting pretty here in our top-of-the-line frames. Yeah, nothing to worry about. So, Ensign Mellow, how are you feeling about things now? Feeling good, ready to go! I still feel like... Are they always going to be capital, like all caps like this? It still feels like a little excessive for how I would feel in this situation. I'd be like, yeah, okay, I'm good. I think I'm good. I wanna do this one again. You almost managed to reply with something preppy and upbeat, but at the last moment the words catch in your throat. If this were a simple mopping up operation, why was it happening in lunar orbit and not nearer to Earth? Why were those explosions so close to the Calicky? These questions churn in your head as you grip the flight sticks again. Hey Ensign, you still in there? Comm still green? I said, how were you feeling? Sorry. Comm's green. Yeah, I'm feeling good. Ready to kick ass and everything. You lie. Yeah, not the most convincing. Not compared to some of the stuff that we could have picked. That's a spirit, kid. Just you remember what I told you. Look after that frame and she'll look after you. Ain't no thing. Ain't no thing. Left alone with your thoughts, you tune back into the gentle hum of the frame. You watch the seconds tick away on the cockpit clock whilst you wait for the order to launch. The wait seems to drag on and on. You carry out a few last-minute flight checks, but as you'd already completed them when you boarded, nothing has changed. Look at this, we've got a little picture of the commander. Alright pilots, listen up. This is Calicky 1. We've been cleared for launch, so be ready for immediate action. All frames will be taking off in designation order. Attack formation, sound off. Oh, they actually have little different faces too. They look as scared as we do. Calicky 2 ready. This is Calicky 3 ready. Calicky 4 here, ready for takeoff. ... Calicky 5, confirm your status. Oh yeah, Calicky 5, standing by. Keep it together, Calicky 5. Calicky 6? Calicky 6, ready. Alright, Calicky Squadron, move out. This is fun, I like this. Calicky 1 launching, Calicky 2 launching, Calicky 3 launched, Calicky 4 moving out. Well, there's our Gundams, our legally distinct Gundams. The little ships in the background too. But yeah, you can see one of them hanging there. All the explosions. The roll call of your squadron as they depart from the ship and accelerate rapidly towards the combat zone sounds almost like a countdown to you. I mean, it kind of is literally a countdown. Once Calicky 4 has declared their launch, you know your time has come. You disengage the restraints and prepare yourself. Calicky 5 launching. Rin, thank you for the head pats. You like this game? It's quite cute? Yeah, I agree. Just wait until you see like more of the character art and stuff. You shout as you slam the flight sticks forwards for maximum thrust. Oh, all the alerts. Calicky 5, abort launch, cut thrusters. Calicky 5, abort launch, cut thrusters. Alert, warning, alert, what? Warning, warning, warning. Just thinking it all in. The engineer's instructions barely register in the confusion as you're jerked around the cockpit, your helmet slamming on the control panel, as a brief moment of thrust throws you back into your seat before you're whipped forward again. Oofta. Warnings flash all over your monitors and sirens and alerts sound from all over the cockpit. Calicky 5, abort launch, and cut thrusters. Takes a few seconds for you to comprehend the engineer, but once you do, you quickly pull the flight sticks back to the neutral position. The roar of your frame's engines dies, and your cockpit regains its previous stillness. You wince as the metallic taste of blood fills your mouth. Oofta. Alright, Calicky 5, hang tight for a moment. Your frame's restraints didn't accept the disengage command, so you're still attached to the Calicky. We're going to need to run a diagnostic. Shouldn't take too long. You slump in the cockpit's chair and exhale deeply, your heart still pounding 1,000,000 beats per minute, and your lip stinging. Bitter lip. You continue to slow your breathing as you listen to the still open communications channel from the maintenance crew as they work to get your frame released. Hey, yeah, looks like the restraints disengage command didn't register. Yeah, Unit 5. Alright, yeah. Get Unit 6 out, no sense waiting for this one. Okay, start the diagnostic, then reboot if necessary. Calicky 6, launching! This is like he's like the most eager one, I feel like, so he's like, Calicky 6, launching! What? Oh, that was his! Whoosh. What do you mean, hardware fault? We've checked this 10 times since Mars, at least. Who was assigned Unit 5? Oh, fine. Right, shut down systems and run the diagnostic again. I want this frame out there in the next 5 minutes. Calicky 5, we're going to shut down your frame systems for a moment so we can run diagnostics. Stay ready though, we'll have you launching soon. Calicky 5 understood, ready and waiting. As your cockpit fades to darkness again, you release the flight sticks and suddenly realize just how long you've been clenching your fists around them. You flex your fingers and roll your shoulders, exhaling again as you begin to hear the muffled sounds of the engineers working on your frame's restraints. I think it's very creative, like, that they have you inside the cockpit here and you're seeing, like, all this stuff happen, too. Staring at the dead monitor, you slowly begin to smile. This is what you wanted, wasn't it? You'd spent so long worrying about this mission that you'd thrown up twice in the past 24 hours, and now it looks like that was all for nothing. You'd got what you wanted, and you were safe. As safe as you can be, strapped to the outside of a military carrier in an inactive armored frame, anyway. Can I press a button, please? The red one? Yeah, press the red button. I'm sure it'll be fine. Press all the red buttons, especially the one that says danger. Your smile widens inadvertently at that thought, getting shot down in an inactive frame still in its restraints. You'd become a cautionary tale for engineers and pilots throughout the entire Jovian colony fleet. Your mind turns quickly to the rest of your squadron. When they'd returned, you'd be the laughing stock of the entire Calicky. Looks like it's not our fault, so would we be the laughing stock? A pilot who'd spent their entire first mission stuck in a dark cockpit. You'd dodged a bullet, but you'd never... Oh no, this is the guy that was so enthusiastic. This is Calicky 6. They've cut off the flight path. There's more. There's a whole squadron of carriers coming in from E-Field. Calicky 1, they're going to cut you off from the fleet. Calicky 6 signal disappearing as you sit bolt upright as you begin pressing buttons trying to activate your cockpit's main monitor so you can see what's going on. Hi, Suda. Hi, Fabulous Moth. Did you just get a call from Mega Man? I think I did. I think that was Mega Man, but I don't think things are going too well for him. Yeah, pressing all the buttons. We love to press all the buttons. However, with your frame system shut down remotely by the maintenance crew, you can do nothing but sit in the dark stillness and listen to events unfold. It doesn't sound too good, I'll be honest. Calicky 6, respond! Calicky 6, what's going on? How many carriers are coming in from E-Field? Ma'am, Calicky 6's signal's been lost. Oh, the commander's a lady. Me. Calicky 6's signal's been lost. It's not responding. Ma'am, he's... Hold it together, Calicky 4. All units form up. Defensive formation on me. I said all units. Calicky 2, don't break formation. Ma'am, they're firing on us. There's so many of them. Oh God. Ma'am, help. In an instant, your communications channel is flooded with cries of terror and panic. You hear your squad mates, your fellow pilots' exclamations of fear as this unexpected enemy force bears down on them. It ain't going so well. What the heck? Screams and yelps, wails and howls fill your head as you sit powerless in the dark confines of your cockpit. Whoa. Hey, who's out there? Engineering? Hey, get me ready. I can help. Get me ready to launch. Engineering. They're getting killed out there. I need to go now. Your shout demands to get your frame ready for launch over the channel, but are met with no response. In the dark of the cockpit, with your controls unresponsive, you can't be sure whether the channel is closed or if no one's listening. All attention turned to receiving the battle-damaged units from your squad. I want to help them, Pi. I want. Breathe, my girl, right? It's actually like, I'm feeling like my own heart rate going up as I'm just like, I know this isn't going well. I know it's not going to go well, but I want to get out there. Listen to me. Anyone, get me out there. You desperately begin attempting a manual override of your systems, but find that nothing responds to you. This is so tense. It is. The only spark of light that you can glean from your frame is a small diagnostics progress bar, which is still just at 3. I need to be out there. Anyone, hey! I haven't breathed because I can hear you're out of breath from reading. Yeah, you caught me. You called me out, Micknitz. I get you. But it is because, like, I'm into it. I'm super into it. I did a hydrate, too. It's just like with my friend Radisher, who was here earlier, where sometimes you have to be like, hey Radish, remember to blink, because you could actively see her model not blinking. In one last desperate attempt, you begin hammering on your cockpit walls, hoping to get the attention of the engineers you could hear outside earlier. The entire time, the chaos of the combat out in space is narrated to you in broken fragments of radio chatter. There's 3, 4 on me. I've lost my shield. I can't shake them. They're everywhere. They're... Signal lost. The line of retreat's totally cut off. We can't get back to the ship. Man, what do we do? What do we do? Stop panicking and form up. 3 and 4, on me. We're going to punch a hole through their formation and... Uh-oh. Ma'am? Ma'am, come in! Ma'am! Oh no. Oh god, oh. One by one, your squad's signals disappear and the cacophony of panic disappears, replaced by the gentle hiss of static. You stop hammering on the side of your cockpit as the last voice is cut off. You're drenched in a cold sweat now, and your empty stomach feels like a rock has sunk to the bottom of it. You lean back and stare blankly ahead. This is Calicky 5. Ready for takeoff. Still want to go out there? Oh my gosh. Are we sure? It didn't look like we were ready. Yeah, in Calicky. September 21st, planetary calendar 2209. Despite last-minute reinforcements for the Solar Federation from their headquarters on Earth, the battle above Lunar is a victory for the joint Martian and Jovian forces. So we still won. It's just they got reinforcements. This would be the final battle of the Solar War. Having lost their last stronghold on Lunar, the Solar Federation would agree to a ceasefire and sign an armistice to end hostilities. An uneasy peace fills the solar system. With the conflict between the Solar Federation and the Martian-Jovian alliance concluded, the Calicky and her crew soon returned to the Europa colony near Jupiter. Wow. April 19th, planetary calendar 214, so 5 years into the future, it seems like. The reduced need for pilots away from the delicate space between Earth and Mars saw Ensign Mellow reassigned to security detail aboard various Jovian ships. She is eventually promoted to lieutenant. Oh, okay. We got a promotion. Hi, Blaze. Hi. Thank you for using the big shriek faces. I love them. It's cursed. It's blurst. I hope you're doing well. I'm a lieutenant now. Wow. 4 years have passed since the battle above Lunar. The Jovian colony fleet, fearing fresh aggression from Earth, has increased patrols near its colonies after picking up unusual signals coming from further out in the solar system. The patrol ship JFS Gundog is dispatched to support the JFS O'Brien in its investigation of these signals. Jovian space. Aboard the Jovian patrol ship JFS Gundog. We got an achievement for setting sail aboard the Gundog. As the rumble of the Gundog's engines roaring to life reverberates through the ship, you clench your fists. It's been 4 years, and to this day, the sensation of tremors, whether there's ship engines, docking clamps, or weapons drills, still ties your stomach into knots. So did we actually go out there in that fight? That's what I wanted. That's like my big question right now. a bad trait for a ship's security officer. You shake your head and exhale slowly, taking a moment before stowing the last of your possessions and pushing the drawer closed. You feel the click as it locks into place and the exterior plastic paneling sits completely flush with its surroundings. Stepping back, you look around the room. You take another deep breath and hold it for a moment. Although this was far from your first posting as a security officer, you always felt the same sense of trepidation, if not anxiety. Similar as all the ships were, they all came with their own unique crews and personalities, and with those came unique problems. Breathing out, you took a look around the room, taking stock of your surroundings. Select the look button to examine your surroundings by selecting items of interest. Select it again when you're done. Okay. This is the function button. The only one we can actually use is look. I get look. Okay, it highlights different things for me to examine. And check out the bunk. Standard cruise bunk. Once you've slept in one, you slept in them all. Although this one is one of the nicer ones you've been assigned to. Yeah, often, like in like a ship, like a Navy ship or something, unless you're like pretty high ranking, you're gonna be just like stacked on top of each other. So this is we have our own room? Wow. The wall panel can be removed by jimmying it with a thin object, and crew members often stash contraband there. Ooh. Looks like this one's not been touched though. Yeah, I can't like do anything except for like right here. This let me control the room's lighting from the bed. I keep my books here too. I'm currently reading the Tales of the Cosmic Champions series. Tales of the Cosmic Champions. Is it always the same thing when I click on it? Let me check that. Yeah, looks like it. Let me just try this one as a secondary experiment. Yeah, okay. I wonder... Oh wait, there's these too. It's just a normal storage unit. I travel light, so mine only has clothes in it. What about this one? The terminal lets me access the ship's computer. It's got a clock, a word processor, and even a calendar. Wow, a whole calendar on this computer. I can also access records and my orders from here, but for anything else I'd need to access the core, which is limited to those in operations or command. Okay. And then this is just to look at the door. A standard door with an electronic lock and magnetic bolting system. The only way in or out unless you plan on getting creative with maintenance tunnels. Oh. Kinda hinting that there might be something at some point related to that. Okay. Select the use button to interact with their surroundings by selecting specific objects to use them. Alright. There's nothing in here right now that I need, just my uniforms and some toiletries. I've only just boarded and it's still the middle of the day based on Jovian standard time. But books. The light switch for the rest of the room is here. Should I use it? What happens if I use it? It just gets dark. That makes sense. Oh. Okay. Should I use it? Yeah. Okay. Oh, it looks like I've been instructed to report to the bridge to meet the captain. I haven't met anyone yet since my transport to the spaceport ran late, and I just about made it aboard before launch. Click the move button to move to a different location. Okay. What if I just use on the door, though? Or what can I... Okay, it's the same thing. Move to crew quarters, corridor 1. Not yet. How is that different? Oh, okay, so if I do move, it just shows me all the different locations I can go to. Step out into an empty corridor and the door to your quarters gently hisses shut behind you. Its keypad gives a short series of beeps and you hear the lock engage. The dull thrum of the ship's systems is barely audible, but otherwise you are stood in total silence. The air is cooler outside of your quarters, and the corridor has a sterile lack of aroma. This has been the same on every ship you've been stationed on, and at this point it doesn't surprise you. Okay, so this is a Swift-class patrol vessel, which means if I leave this quarters block, I'll be in the foreside thoroughfare. If I go right towards the aft, I'll arrive in the central hub, and then I can head to the bridge. Am I saying these things actually out loud to myself, like narrating where I need to go precisely? And my understanding of a ship? I'd be like, oh no, the lieutenant is lost again. Sounds like a lieutenant kind of a thing. Look around though. Is this our room? Hansen Cruis. Just the hashtag just lieutenant things. That'd be a cool character quirk, yeah. Just lieutenant things. Whose room is this? Haru Rumney. Does it sound familiar? Is this our room? No. Dylan D's. Can't say I've run into them on any other ship. Dalton Grange, not someone I've met before. Yeah, I would think that it would be... Why is ours for this one just Hansen Cruis? I would think, especially it being, like, society's advanced to the point where we're going into outer space, and there's multiple planets and things, it would be even more unlikely that you would know the people that you're here with, right? Can I just knock on people's doors? This is another crew member's quarters. I don't have a reason to go in there right now. Maybe security, but under normal circumstances I can't just barge into someone's room without being invited in. I don't need to go in here right now. I'm just gonna check them all anyway, though. I don't think just going in there would be a good idea. Okay. Fine. Four-side thoroughfare. Yeah. You leave the crew block behind you and find yourself in a much larger corridor that stretches off to your left, and with multiple smaller corridors leading from it. To your right, the corridor leads to a large, plaza-like space. A very faint breeze coming from your left ruffles your hair and chills you slightly, and you hear the sounds of human activity. That's the hangar. Low gravity. From the right, you can hear the hum of the ship's engines more clearly now, as well as the occasional low, quiet whirring sound. Looks like I was right. Wow, I knew where I was going! I'm so proud of myself. This portion of the thoroughfare will let me access both sets of crew quarters, the mess hall, the hangar, and the central hub. From there, I can access the rest of the ship's areas. I should hurry up to meet the captain before I look around anywhere else. The game's really just like, quit looking at all the random things, Merri. Quit messing around and... Oh, what did I do? I don't know what I did. Okay, there we go. But yeah. Follow the plot, Merri. I want to look. I want to examine all the things. The ship's hangar. Since I'm on security detail, the only time I should be spending there is when I'm carrying out my daily checks. On a larger ship, you'd see people coming and going constantly. So it's eerie how quiet it is. Okay, so that's the hangar. The mess hall. I don't imagine a ship this size has a cook or even a kitchen, so it's probably just a vendmate unit. It's just a vending machine sort of thing. We're on a small ship, so we just get our food from the vending machine. I wonder what could be down that way. Fire control, maybe? Okay, mess hall, hangar. Alright. What if I just click? I've got to meet the captain. I'm sure I'll have plenty of opportunities to check it out later. I had a decent meal back on the colony before I came aboard. Since we don't know how long this dispatch will last, it could be a while before I have anything that isn't made from long life ingredients. Yeah. I'll figure out what's down there later. Okay, move. Central hub. Merri likes the Principality of Xeon Mecha. I do think that they have a certain style to them. I think that they do look kind of cool. The Zaku especially, I think, look really cool. As you enter the central hub, you hear a low whirring noise, and the engines grow louder. You can see the readouts above one of the elevators change, letting you know someone is using it to travel to another part of the ship. Wow, somebody's using the elevator! I'm very observant. I am a very observant lieutenant. Looking around, you see the entrances to both the fore and aft side thoroughfares, as well as the corridor to the airlocks. These elevators will take me to the bridge where the captain will be. I shouldn't waste any more time. Plus has very little knowledge of EC Gundam. I used to have more than I do now. I'm always like a very vibes-based person. I just remember really enjoying it, and I've only really retained some of the ones that I really liked from it, like the names of the mobile suits and stuff. I shouldn't waste any more time, but I want to look at everything, you see. That's the Forsyth Thoroughfare, where I've just come from. The crew's quarters, hangar, and mess hall are all down that way, probably. I mean, we just came that way, so I would hope that we would know that they're down there. That way leads to the aft of the ship. I'm not totally familiar with Swift-class ships, but at the least I know that the engine room is that way. Okay. Most of the ship can be accessed from the 2 thoroughfares, but some areas like the bridge are situated on different levels so need to be accessed by the elevator. There should be access for maintenance crawlways around here somewhere, but those are usually only for emergencies. It looks like it might be like this thing. Okay, these are the same. Yeah. Alright. Let's go to the bridge. Also remembers, oh yeah, 8th MS team. 8th MS team was probably my favorite of all of the different Gundam series, the different like anime series that they put out. I like the fact that it was like there's all of this like insane power that different Gundams and mobile suits and stuff get throughout the series, like all of the different Gundam series. But I loved 8th MS team because it was much more downplayed in that. It was a lot more like realistic as far as just being some people there on the ground fighting the war. Yeah, it was a very, very, very good one. Knowing that you need to report to the captain, who at this point of the ship's journey should be stationed on the bridge, you make your way towards the elevators and press the call button. You step back and watch the indicators above each elevator, waiting for one to arrive. As you wait, your mind begins to wander, and you're caught unaware as you feel something suddenly jab into your back, and a voice from behind you declares. I don't know how to voice these until they show me something about the character. Hands in the air, identify yourself. Your posture stiffens as you snap back to reality, caught completely off guard by the voice behind you. The security officer has been caught completely off guard by some random person. And our, okay, I was worried that this is going to get darker than it is, it looks like. Thoughts race through your mind as you try to figure out what's going on. Could there already be another security detail on board? Our mind isn't just immediately like, oh, somebody's pranking us. That shouldn't be possible. As far as you knew, you were the only one, unless... I said hands in the air, punk! You tentatively raise your hands, palms flat and facing forwards, as whatever's been thrust into the small of your back is removed slowly, and you hear the person behind you take a step backwards. You exhale and begin to turn around. Lieutenant Mellow, security detail ID SO254JFSG. I'm on my way to meet the captain too. Yeah. Where you'd been expecting a gruff crew member, instead you're met with a bright and cheery officer waving a pen around with a large smile on her face. You're taken aback for a moment as this isn't just any officer. This is... Cassie, what are you? Oh, this is our first, like, opportunity to see our character model, too. I wonder if this changes at all, depending on, like, the choices you made earlier. Marilyn, I've missed you so much. Hey, doofus. You should have seen your face when you turned around. You were all... I love that face you make when you think you're in trouble. It's like you think playing the big soldier will get you out of trouble. It's so cute. Say, gay? Yes. Maybe possibly a little bit. Lieutenant Commander Cassandra Quinn. You should have known. Really. She's always been one for bad jokes and stupid pranks as long as you've known her. Her less than professional. Does our character like her or not? It seems like we're really going hard on the whole, like, she is not professional. Her less than professional attitude and penchant for irresponsibility is the reason why, despite her talents, she's not commanding a ship of her own. I think she wants to spit. Oh my god, I cannot read all of that, say. That's wild. That is a wild statement. I have only just met Cassandra. I can't remember her last name yet. It's wild. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how good did I get you? You totally thought you were being busted, right? But if you're being honest, her playful nature is what attracted you to her in the first place. You might be onto something, actually, say. You might possibly. Yeah. Oh, you're knitting. I got you, Hime. Yeah. It's the sweater, right? I saw something about a sweater the other day. Yeah. What attracted you to her in the first place? As friends or something more? Oh, okay, yeah. You've been dating for nearly 2 years now. Okay. So... Okay. We've been dating for nearly 2 years now, but a lot of that has been over electronic mail or in letters. Your postings have never lined up until now. We're both officers, so we're not... It's not a, like, I'm in command and they're a subordinate kind of a thing. See, I'm always right? I mean, okay. Okay, say, maybe you were right. I don't know if they're quite... if they're quite into everything you were saying, but you've proven correct in some aspects so far. A lot has been over electronic mail or in letters your postings have never lined up until now. Cassie, what are you doing here? I thought you were stationed on the Reliant. How do you not know where your girlfriend is stationed and that you're going to be stationed on the same ship? This is weird. You never said you were being transferred. What happened? Well, the thing about that is, you might say that a disagreement with the head of operations on the Reliant led to a lateral trajectory for my career. Sandra, please. Okay. So maybe when it came time to change the ship's cybersecurity passwords, I couldn't be bothered to spend all day sitting in the computer core, waiting for it to generate new codes, so I just changed all the existing passwords by a single digit. I'm sure one of them pretends to be in command. Oh my gosh. You place your face in your hands as a dull groan rises from the back of your throat. This isn't the first time you've heard a story like this. And maybe it turns out when they run the cybersecurity drills, they assume that the enemy have your old passwords. So try brute forcing from those. And maybe that meant the ship was compromised in 0.5 seconds. But at least they found out I'd done that in a drill and not in a real engagement, right? I basically saved the entire ship in advance. Right, exactly. I like the way that you rationalize things. And I can't lie, I have seen similar arguments be made by people in the military before, so this is a little too real. I'm surprised you're still even stationed on a ship. How are you not stuck back in a records room at Europa colony right now? Well, I probably shouldn't tell you this, but if I can't trust who can I trust? It turns out this mission was organized at really short notice, and the Gundog was the only ship available. The problem was that they'd been having issues with the crew, so they had to transfer some in short notice. Lucky for me that I'd so recently been made available. That's weird. I'd only just been stationed on the Duke, so I shouldn't have been free to be transferred. It is an odd coincidence, and it's also odd that they didn't know they were both ending up somewhere together. ... Okay, you figured it out. I may have used one of my contacts from the academy who works in resource to transfer you over here. I'm pretty sure you know every regulation you broke by doing that. Well, what was I supposed to do? Get stationed to some tiny ship heading out to the middle of nowhere with no one I know on the crew? We haven't seen each other in months. Aren't you glad to see me? Of course I'm glad to see you. I've missed you too, you know. It's been a long time. You don't become a part of the Reliance Operations Department without some serious talent. I'm not going anywhere. Oh, you said you were on your way to see the captain, right? Have you had a chance to take a look around the ship yet? I tried to, Cassandra, I tried to, and my character would not allow me. They were like, I have to talk to the captain. What? No, not yet. I was going to. Great, I'll show you around. I've been here a few days, so I basically know this ship like the back of my hand. Where do you want to go first? I was on my way to see the captain. I felt the engine start up, so I know we're launching soon. Adds in about 5 minutes. I will take a pause so that you don't miss his story stuff if you're not a subscriber. I know we're launching soon and thought that I should probably report in as soon as possible. Oh, don't worry about that. I've already logged you on board, so it's just a formality now. Pretty sure the captain would want to meet me if I am one of his officers. Besides, Captain Bartermuse? Captain Bartermuse? Bartermuse, that's a cool name. I probably shouldn't, when I meet him, I probably shouldn't be like, your name is Bartermuse? Captain Bartermuse isn't exactly a stickler for procedure, so we can check out anywhere you want before we head up there. Oh, he's chill, okay. Oh, alright, in that case. Great! This is going to be the best tour you've ever been on. By the time it's over, you'll have seen every inch of the ship and met everyone on board. It's been so long since we last saw each other, too. We definitely need to take some time to stop by my quarters and get reacquainted. Oh, I should have said that a little saucier. It's been so long since we last saw each other, too. We definitely need to take some time to stop by my quarters and get reacquainted. You can now access every area of the Gundog. All right. Select the talk button to view a list of who is available to talk to. If you change your mind, select the talk button again. Okay, interesting. Look around the central hub as Cassandra already begins to make her way to your first destination, waving at you to follow. It might be a small ship, you think, but now would be the perfect opportunity to learn its layout and familiarize yourself with where you'll be spending your current duty. Plus, you admit it wouldn't hurt to meet all of the crew. Better to get to know them sooner rather than later. Alright. Okay, here's save. Let me just go ahead and do that. This game is made in Ren'Py, which I have played some other Ren'Py visual novels before. I think they did a great job of like really customizing it, considering, because they're like I wouldn't have picked it out immediately that that's what they made this in. Yeah. I think it's very impressive. Is there anything new to look at first of all? I didn't think so. Okay. I would use those. Talk, Cassandra. You know, it's kind of funny now that I think about it. You can usually tell when it's Ren'Py. This is really impressive. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's very impressive. What is? This area is called the Central Hub, but to be honest, the only places you can get to straight away from here are the airlock, sickbay, or the bridge. Well, it's right in the middle of the ship, so it connects everything together via the two thoroughfares, right? Kind of, but if you want to get to engineering to do some mechanical work, you've got a long way to go that way. My glasses, Spooky! Spooky, I need those to read! What are you doing to me, Spooky? Spooky, why? Why? Hi, Spooky. It's good to see ya. Ah. You can have them for just a little bit. The Four-Side Thoroughfare is way more of a hub, since you can get to all sorts of places really quickly. Get some snacks from the mess hall to take back to your quarters. Easy. If you want a quick soda while taking audit in the hangar, you're there and back in no time. You should move the bridge to the front of the ship. Sounds to me like you just want a vending machine on the bridge. Hey, that's not a bad idea! Still, it's a long way to get to the other end of the ship no matter where you're going from. Yeah, really, it really isn't a bad idea if you're expecting your people to go all the way downstairs just to get food from a vending machine. Put a few more vending machines. Still, it's a long way to go to get to the other end of the ship no matter where you're going from. How would you solve that problem? Maybe change the shape of the ship so that the center is really the center. It's space, so you could make it a really efficient shape, like a cube or something. I think they did that in some show, some series, maybe. A cube. I guess it could be efficient, but I don't think anyone would take a cube-shaped ship seriously. Just want to say, I really love when games adapt the sort of 80s style into pixel art like this. It's so crunchy, lots of nutrients, yeah. Big agree. I think they did a great job with it too. And, actually, I think I have to get through the conversation, but I like the fact that they have different options for it even. A few different styles. Here we go. You can see. It's cool. It could feel like you're playing on a Game Boy, essentially, if you wanted it to. I just want to see if talking to Cassandra is the same thing all the time here. Yeah, same conversation. That's okay. Okay. Love your voice? Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I do that IRL, but it's just called taking off my glasses. That's a fun way to look at it. Oh my gosh. Okay, we can go literally anywhere. It seems like the bridge is what would progress the story, so I guess let's check out some of the different areas. We came from Foreside Thoroughfare. Let's check out the Aft Thoroughfare. As two of you leave the central hub behind you and travel down the aft side thoroughfare, the hum of the engines continues to grow louder. You'd effectively filtered the noise out in the rest of the ship. As you get closer to the rear, its volume increased considerably. Are the engines supposed to be that loud? Are the what? I said, are the engines supposed to be that loud? The what? I said, are the engines... I heard you the first time. I'm just messing with you. Oh my gosh, I love her. Gaze in Space, Seek Out Vending Machine would be a book I'd read. Honestly. You could have fooled me. I've never been on a ship where the engines are so noticeable. Is it supposed to be like that? Supposed to? No, not really. But the Gundog is a swift class, a type of patrol ship that's designed for rapid response. They're made to cover large areas of space quickly and offer basic assistance to ships in distress. I see. That, or be the first on the scene to gather intel and issue warnings to anyone if anyone comes too close to Jovian space. Oh no, she has confidence in autism. She's perfect. I actually really do like Cassandra already. Which means design-wise, they prioritize speed above everything else. I guess the best way to sum it all up is that the Gundog is basically a huge set of engines with a tiny ship strapped to them. That was unironic? Yeah. No, I didn't think you were not being honest with that assessment. Yeah, it's a really cool game, Rose. I'm liking it a lot so far. Well, that's reassuring. Oh, it's fine. It just means there's no space for systems like motion dampeners or soundproofing. You'll miss it when you leave. That's one way to look at it. Is there a different conversation with Cassandra in every one of these areas? Oh yeah. There's an upside to these vibrations coming from the engines. Oh yeah? Check this out. You watch as Cassandra crouches down, takes out a pen out from her pocket and lays it on the floor. As soon as she removes her hand, it begins to slowly edge away from her, moved by the vibrations carried through the ship. Ta-da! That's great. I know, right? Back on the Reliant, we used to go to the engine rooms and race stationary on the gangways near the engines. They were that bored that they just went and raced stationary. I like a ship with itty bitty installation and a huge engine. Wild statement. I had a red pen that moved 3 times faster than anything else. I'll be honest, say I also thought it was the washing machine thing. I was a little concerned. I was like, I don't think this is an adult. I don't think this is an adult game. I had my concerns too, say, so you're okay. Hi. Oh, thank you for the 7 stream streak, little bee, and thank you for the head pats. 3 times faster, huh? You know it. Can't believe I lost it, though. Oh, hey, what do you got in your pockets? A key card and a pack of gum. Why? The race is on. First from this panel to that panel. The loser buys us something from the vending machine. Oh, no. I feel like the key card... Like, the gum is going to be probably heavier than the... Is it like a whole stack of gum? I think the key card is more aerodynamic. I'm so glad it wasn't me. I was about to check myself. No, you're good. Here's your key card. Okay, let's go with the key card. You place your key card on the floor next to the pen and stand up. A tense 30 seconds follows as the 2 objects slowly jitter their way along the floor, almost neck and neck the entire way. Come on, Nero, you've got this. You can do this, key card. The sporting event of the century looks like it'll end in a draw, but at the last moment, Cassandra's pen pivots on its axis, allowing your keycard to take the lead and pass over the seam between one floor panel and the next. I don't want to lose my keycard. I did have a fear that this might happen. Alright. Okay, we're okay. We're good. Oh man, Pen, you let me down. Vending machine treat is on you then. Wait, best 2 out of 3? No. No, I won. Alright. Take a look around. Down that category is the armory, where all the ship's firearms are stored. Normally, access is to be granted from the bridge, but since you're the security officer, you've got access coded into your keycard. That way leads to the engineering block. From there, you can access the engine room, the main computer, and most of the ship's systems. Although you won't be going anywhere near those systems if the chief has anything to say about it. Interesting. I feel like it would be kind of weird maybe to just walk into the armory, but I also feel like it's a place that the security officer should know about, right? So yeah, let's check out the armory. You swipe your keycard through the card reader set into the terminal by the armory's door. Instead of the door opening as you would expect, you hear a harsh tone from the terminal. Looking at its screen, you see a message displayed in large flashing letters. Access denied. Insufficient authority. It looks like your clearance hasn't been fully processed yet. You have to meet the captain before you can get into that room. Oh, okay. That's fine. Can we go to engineering? Ooh. This is a big room, isn't it? As the 2 of you continue through the aft thoroughfare, the thrum of the engines grows louder still. The featureless paneling that has made up the majority of the ship's interior quickly gives way to visible pipes and conduits, and eventually the smooth flooring transitions to grating, revealing more workings underfoot. Finally, the thoroughfare leads into one huge open chamber filled with masses of machinery. Terminal panels set into the sides of various apparatus cycle through different readings. The light from the screens reflected off ducts and valves. All this equipment is separated by a grid of catwalks and access ladders. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff is right. This is central engineering. Pretty much every system aside from the engines themselves in the central computer can be found in this room. All in one place? Isn't that a little risky? Well, a Swift-class ship relies on an absolutely minimal crew. The Gundog only has 2 engineers. 2 engineers for this whole thing. I think they figured it'd be easier on them if everything that was important was kept in one place. I guess I could see that. That way they don't have to run from one end of the ship to another to get all their repairs done if something goes wrong. Well, you certainly know a lot about ship engineering. What can I say? I'm a pretty talented individual. Oh yeah? Whilst we're here, you can share some of that knowledge. What's that over there? That's the hellenic conversion unit. Is she just completely making, like, shit up now at this point? And what's that? Oh, that's the omnifaceted Wayne shaft. Uh-huh. What about that? That's the turbo encabulator? Every day's a school day. I'm head of operations, not chief engineer, okay? I don't need to know what... Uh-oh. Hey, no one better be screwing around up there. I need to see the character before I know how to voice them. You both jump as a stern voice barks at you from below. Looking down, you see through the grating that there's another catwalk situated below the one you're stood on, with a crew member moving at speed towards the ladder that joins the two walkways. The turbo encabulator. Yeah, Maul. Hi, Maul. It was good to see you too, Maul. Hi. Maul, another really cool moth streamer. Turbo encabulator. I swear if I find so much as a single terminal readout out of place, I'm stuffing the two of you into the organics processing system. If I have to retrieve one more pen from behind the compressors. He really does that pen thing a lot. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it, Ma. I'm enjoying it a lot. Yeah, of course. I think you're really cool, Ma. Screwing around? No, that's at least Act 2. Oh my gosh, say. The crew member continues to grumble as they ascend. Rumble. Okay. Quinn, you better not be here to tell me that your favorite pen has somehow fallen into the system block again. No, Chief. Got it right here. Damn straight you do. Now make sure you hang on to that one or you're going to need someone to pull it out of the system block instead. Say. To be honest, I think that they're just very attractive. Whoever they are. ... And who's this? Our wayward security officer? You got a name there? You quickly throw a sharp salute at the woman in front of you without even checking her rank first. This is interesting. Chief, at least in regular military, Chief would normally be like an enlisted rank. But I don't know how Martian Jovian military works. Definitely very attractive. We love the buff ladies, yes. Not only does she loom over you physically, but you quickly pick up on a force of personality that feels like it adds an extra 6 inches to her considerable stature. Lieutenant Mellow, security officer for the JFS Gundog, ma'am. Less of that ma'am business, Mellow. Name's Mackenzie Cathays. Mackenzie Cathays, chief engineer. That's chief to you. Yes, Chief. We really are a lieutenant, aren't we? We're just some poor little lieutenant. Has no idea what we're doing. Damn straight. Now what are you two doing in engineering? I was just giving Lieutenant Mellow a tour of the ship, Chief. That's so. You've never been on a ship before, Lieutenant? First assignment? Oh, she's tough. Yeah, so, non-commissioned officer. I do get very, like, non-commissioned officer vibes from her. From Mackenzie. Never on a Swift class, Chief. I've only served on strike or supply classes to date. That's so. Which strike vessels? The JFS Victory and JFS Thunderbolt, Chief. Victory and Thunderbolt, huh? Don't think either of those two were less than 3 years old, so probably wouldn't have seen what the new streamlined distribution systems. I wonder if you would have seen the power coils, though. I think the victory was part of that production. Definitely not important to be familiar with your workplace. Oh my gosh. You and Cassandra exchange a quick, nervous glance as the chief, who'd previously seemed like she was about to physically throw both of you out of engineering, suddenly begins a conversation with herself. You continue to stand to a nervous attention as she ruminates about ship's components. Chief, is there, anything I can help you with about those ships? Oh, huh? Lieutenants, Lieutenants, didn't realize you were still here. No, you're off the hook, Mellow. Not unless you can tell me whether the Victory was outfitted with the 3rd generation B-Pack upgrades, anyway. Thank you for the hydrate, Yami. Oh my gosh. God, I wish she'd physically throw me, say. Maybe one day. Sorry, Chief. Don't think I could. Wonder if that's because the retrofitting takes into account space availability in the ship's interior for minimal traversal impact. Although maybe it could be that it takes... She really hyperfixates on the mechanical stuff. Wow, I love your love emote. I think now would be a good time for us to move on. Good idea. Well, that's all, Chief. We'll just be going now. Oh yeah, sure. Just don't let me catch you screwing around in here again. I got an achievement for that. Okay, so plane engineer, not train engineer. Got it. Team, I volunteer as tribute to work as power lifting weights. Oh my gosh. I love that for y'all. We can look around though. There's a lot in here, it seems like. There's so much going on in here that I've got no idea what anything is. This could be a waste processing unit, or it could be... Uh-oh. Life support. Sorry, Chief. What was that? This unit's part of the life support system. To be exact, this part is an assessment center of sorts. It continuously samples the atmosphere on board the ship to ensure that it's at an optimum level to keep us all alive. Oh, huh. Engine. This door leads to one of the ship's engine rooms. There's another engine room on the other side of the ship. It's not exactly an efficient layout when you're running tests on the systems, but it's what they thought would work best in terms of keeping us swift compact. Oh my gosh, say. Go sit on one end of the bar like a seesaw. The boss should chew on the wires? I think that would end poorly if that's the life support boss. Thanks, Chief. Interesting. There's so much machinery in here. If what Cassie says is true and that all the ship systems are packed in here, it could be anything. It's certainly giving off a lot of heat, though. That's the power distribution module. Oh, Chief, it's you! What is it? The power distribution module. We're situated above the Gundog's main reactor, and this is the system which distributes the power to all the ship's various systems. Oh, is that right? I love just how into all of this she is. I think it's more so that Cassie just was upset that the chief stepped in and was explaining everything and not letting Cassie do it. See, I think it's about to happen again. That door leads to the Central Computers room. It contains the ship's mainframe that all the ship's terminals are connected to. It also runs the majority of the ship's hardware. There's a primary access terminal located in there too that gives access to the other terminal on the ship offers. That no other terminal on the ship offers. But for security, only the captain has use of it. Great. Thanks for the heads up, Chief. Okay, never mind. No longer believable. She's a mechanical engineer. She's supposed to hate the computers. But they're on like a spaceship. Like, the computers are important, you know? Okay, I think that's all the look around stuff. Let's talk to the chief, because Chief's gonna want to talk anyway. Yes, Lieutenant. Well, Chief, I was stopping by to... Tell me, Mellow, what is it that the ship's security officer on a vessel with only 10 crew does all day? Oh, so that is... So I'll tell you what a chief engineer does. Chief engineer spends every damn minute of the day trying to keep pace with all the systems on board this vessel, making sure they're all running absolutely flawlessly. You know why? It's because if I don't, then it's a thin line between optimum comfort and a horrific death in the cold expanse we call space. So I'll be frank, Lieutenant. Unless you're about to help me redirect these condensers while I refresh the primary moisture chamber, then I don't know what good is going to come from you hanging around and distracting me. Understood? Yes, Chief. Well done. If you really want something to do, you can go check up with the junior engineer in the hangar. It's probably slowed down since I last put the fear of the void into him. What? She's a little intense. Doesn't matter, beep boop bad, clung clung good. Okay, Cassandra. Okay, but really, when Chief says we shouldn't screw around in here, she's right. We should probably get going. What did you do? Why would you say that? Really though, what did... Who the hell dropped the chocolate bar onto the secondary moisture converter? Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. It's melted into the outlet valve. I'll kill them. She's so intense. Yeah, I think we did all the stuff. Central computer engines. I feel like we check out the engines since we're already here. It's just in our pockets, right? The two of you watch from around a corner as Chief Cathay is continuing to mutter to herself, paces back and forth, checking terminal readouts and various displays. Eventually, she heads down the ladder that she'd climbed to confront you. Now out of sight, Cassandra darts toward the engine room, gesturing you over. Looking over your shoulder in case the Chief has reappeared, you make your way to her. Just in time for the doorway to the engine room to open, and Cassandra to disappear inside before you can raise an objection. Are we gonna, like, destroy the ship accidentally? Just by, like, our looking around. What a waste of chocolate in space. Can't exactly go to the corner store to get more. Yeah, that's honestly so true. And we do have a vending. We eat all of our food from vending machine stuff. On purpose? Oh. Oh. Oh no. Well, it's got to be better than staying in here with the Chief. The room you find yourself in is a similar size to the area you just left, but whilst that was crammed full of a huge range of machinery, this room is almost entirely filled by one colossal cylindrical device. The pulse of the engine is now a tangible sensation as the vibrations it emits shake your whole body. So this is the main engine. Well, one of them anyway. The Chief said the ship's outfitted with 2 of these. I see what you meant now when you said the gun dog's a huge set of engines with a ship strapped to them. This thing's massive. I know. Look at it, and I look at it and I feel like you could probably fit the rest of the ship in this room if the engines weren't there. It's because it's impossible to get the Higgs field distortion drive any smaller. Chief! Oh, Chief, I know you said, that, So these engines are actually combination nuclear pulse engines built around a Higgs field distortion drive. I don't think my dog has one of these. Oh no. I would hope not. If the HFDD wasn't here, then this engine could be about 10 times smaller than it is. Although I hear they've managed to improve the efficiency of newer NPEs, so it's possible that the space saving could be more like 11 times smaller. Can either of you tell me how a HFDD works? Woof woof. Woof woof. Wow. Hi Kai. Didn't a cricket blow up one of these IRL? Oh no. I didn't hear that. I didn't know about nothing like that. HF DD? Higgs Field Distribution Drive. What are they teaching you at the Academy? It's the drive that allows ships to move far beyond speeds allowed by conventional engines, although it's nowhere near faster than light. It's what lets us get around the solar system without needing to worry whether we'll live long enough to see the end of the journey. Anyway, everyone knows about the existence of the Higgs field. It's what allows interactions with the Higgs boson that gives particles their mass. Oh, right. So what the drive does is warp the field relative to the ship and those on board. By doing this, it displaces the mass to a different area of space, but within the same relative. As the chief continues on with her explanation, you glance at Cassandra and see a thinly veiled look of terror on her face. You can't blame her, as you feel much the same way caught in this impromptu lecture. Then, because the particles retain their relationship with each other, the general perception is that things are the same as normal. However, from an exterior perspective, the lecture drags on and you quickly lose track of the chief's explanation. Although you recognize the words she's saying, you can no longer make sense of the context, and they come to seem like a meaningless string of sounds. Does that make sense? Yeah, so the field is the, it's got the mass, which is pushed. No. How to put it? Okay, so imagine that space is a ketchup packet, and you're the sauce. Sauce? Right, the sauce. Now, what the distortion drive does, it's like a thumb on the universe of the packet. It moves the sauce around by changing the shape of the packet to push the sauce. The packet is the universe. We're the sauce, and the drive is a thumb? You got it. that is wild. To read this again. Packet, and you're the sauce. Like a thumb on the universe of the packet. It moves the sauce around by changing the shape of the packet to push the sauce. It sure sounds like faster than light travel. It does, in a way, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, the Large Hadron Collider had some creature crawl inside it when they were first going to turn it on, and it exploded. Oh no, not the cricket. It's just the bug. Yeah, the early 90s anime vibe is what, like, got me into it. Kai. It's what first, like, attracted me to this game, and I wanted to give it a shot because of that. It's been really good so far. You quickly glance back to Cassandra and meet her eyes as she's doing the same thing. You know for certain that neither of you have got it. And that's why these engines have to be so big to house that drive. Oh, it all makes sense now. I see. Yes, definitely. Great. Well, now that you appreciate the science behind it, I won't have to throw you out of here. Thanks, Chief. Anytime. Just remember, Lieutenant. Yes, Chief? Screw with anything and I'll throw you out of the airlock instead. Yes, Chief. Sauce? the sauce? Cassandra. So we're the sauce. Right. And the universe is the packet. I thought that the field was the packet. But then it's the field in the universe, or the universe in the field. We're going to have some very theoretically challenging meal times. I do like that. As she drops her ketchup packet into the accelerator. No, Cassie. No. Okay, look around. It's just the big engine here, I guess, that we're looking at. One of the ship's two engines. Apparently it's that big because it's a combination of a standard nuclear pulse engine and a Higgs field distortion drive. I think I almost lost consciousness when the chief was explaining it to me. Yeah. We go back to engineering. And then we're gonna move to the central computer. You swipe your keycard through the card reader set into the terminal by the door heading to the central computer. The door doesn't open and instead you hear a harsh tone from the terminal, which is now displaying an error message. Looking at its screen, you see a message displayed in large flashing letters. Access denied. Insufficient authority. Because only the captain can get in there, I think, right? Oh, even with your security clearance, you won't be able to go into the main computer room. The staff is so small, the ship's computer handles a lot of tasks that would normally be done by the crew. It controls a lot of really sensitive functions, so only the captain and the operations team are allowed access. Oh? I don't think any of the ships I've been on have had a computer system like this. The bigger ships usually have their computing distributed amongst multiple systems across the ship. But because they've also got larger crews, there's more that the people on board are responsible for. I think that because a Swift class is so small and there's such a limited crew, they need to assign more functionality to the computer. Because of that, it's a lot more vital that no one screws around with it. I see. You said that operations have access. Can we take a look using your authority? Well, since the whole reason I'm here is that I didn't exactly take my responsibilities with the Reliance computer system seriously, the captain's told me not to mess around with it. But it's not that interesting anyway. I think we checked out everything here. Yes. We'll go back this way. Okay, we tried to go into the armory, but we can't yet, so we'll go back to the little central hub. And now, yeah, why don't we check out that airlock, say? Why don't we check out that airlock? How interesting. And this is the main airlock. It's the main way to get on and off the ship when it's docked. Boss hops out the air. No, boss, get back in here. You can't just jump out there. You gotta have a spacesuit, boss. Thanks, but I've already been here. Oh, really? When? Actually, I think I'm confusing it with somewhere else. What else can you tell me? Well, it's got one of the best views on the ship, for one thing. You look around but can't see any windows. You wouldn't expect to be on a military vessel where an inclusion like that could compromise the structure. Here, really? Yeah, really? Check it out! Cassandra strides over to the terminal set into the wall next to the airlock hatch and quickly begins typing commands into it. You hear a sequence of beeps, and she stands back, gesturing proudly to the screen. She's not opening the airlock, right? Cassie, have you been looking out the airlock? Right? It's a little concerning. Just a little concerning. I guess that's partial credit. That's a fair way to look at it. I am very concerned about what Cassie's been doing with the airlock now. Not too bad, huh? You look at the screen, but all you can see is a dark display with a few errant pixels suspended on it. Is that working? Sticking her head out the airlock like a dog in a car. No. Of course it's working. Look. You stare a little harder at the screen, and although it takes you a moment, you eventually realize that's an external feed. That's right. Normally you can only see out of the gundog from either the bridge or the hangar. The ship's covered in small cameras for combat situations. You can access the feeds from the terminals around the ship. It's actually pretty cool. But isn't the view from the bridge or the hangar better? You know, because you're actually looking out? Well, maybe, but there's always someone else around. You never get the view to yourself. No one ever comes here, and it's so quiet. It's almost like you're out there. I guess I can see what you mean. It's pretty quiet out this way, and with the fancy screen like that, it's basically the real view. I knew you'd understand. I'll add the command to your terminal access. That way you can come out here and see the stars whenever you want. Thanks. Maybe we could see the stars together whenever we want to, Cassie? You know, maybe just hang out, you know? says hatch very distinctly in access. These spacesuits are for emergencies only. Every crew member has an assigned suit that's stored near their main station. These suits are here are in the case of evacuation when those stations are inaccessible. Ooh, ooh, she showed you stars. Now you gotta have her seeing stars. Wow. Spicy. Underneath that panel is the manual control for the external airlock hatch, just in case of mechanical or power failure. I've had to open one as part of a drill before, and it's not easy. Aside from the fact it controls the airlock, it's a terminal like any other, although with silence, I suppose this one's good for getting a relaxing view of the stars. This is the main crew airlock for crew use. It's used to load and offload basic supplies and equipment. Everything else is brought in through the hangar airlock. Okay. Okay, so it's just really looking around at some stuff. Talk Cassandra. So do you come out to the airlock a lot? Define a lot. She's still pretty new to this place too, right? More than once for coming on board and once for departing. There's nothing wrong with hanging out in the airlock. It's a little bit weird, to be honest. Wow. Thank you for the stick buggy. I don't know if this ASCII art will work in chat, or if it looks like a mess. Yeah, it did work. Yeah. It looks very, very pretty. Wow. We love stick bug. Yeah. I'm okay with like occasional ASCII thingy like that. It's just if people were to like spam it too often, but I like it. I've always liked ASCII arts, and I love your the little one that you did above it too. Sometimes you just need a bit of personal space. On a small ship like this, it's the only place you can really get some time to yourself. She looks more mad. I should be saying this a little bit more angrily. Sometimes you just need a bit of personal space. On a small ship like this, it's the only place you can really get some time to yourself. Even on a big ship like the Reliant, there's not many places to get away from everyone. I just find it really relaxing to know I'm this close to being out in space, away from everything, everyone. It is nice to get your own space away from others. It's kind of a wild statement to be like, I wish I was out there in space, though. Sometimes it feels like I was made to be out there, not cooped up in here. Well, she's really actually into it. Interesting. I don't know you enjoyed that part of space. For most people, looking out into the expanse for too long triggers a kind of existential dread. Yeah, honestly, I get what you're saying. Yeah. As far as that being a death flag, to a degree, too. I knew a guy on another ship that couldn't bear to look out into space. He'd start getting the jitters whenever he did. Sometimes if he got drunk on duty, he'd start saying all kinds of weird stuff about how humanity's souls were never meant to be unbound from gravity. I don't know, it's just like there's something out there that's calling me, you know? There's a lot more going on in this conversation than initially, and I feel like this is a thing that's going to come back up, and I don't know what to think of it yet. The final frontier. These are the adventures of the USS Moth. That nothing just gets lost all the time because it crashes. It chases all these starlights, I see. I almost read it wrong. That nothing just gets lost all the time as it chases all these starlights. You're like it's a place to get existential with your girlfriend? Oh no. It's not that private, right? Well, that's until I'm late for my shift and the captain sends out a shipwide message telling me to haul ass up to the bridge. Then I know there's something calling me. Interesting. Okay, we can only go back to the central pub. What if I really shouldn't be messing around with that. It's really tricky to get back on once removed. The terminal, alongside its other standard features, is used to control the airlock. I can also get a look at what's going on outside the ship. View the stars. I've got a few minutes. I could spare some time for stargazing. Yep, that's space all right. I don't feel like walking out into space anytime soon, although if I actually wanted to use it, I'd need to go via the terminal. I'll leave those where they are. I'm not going anywhere, and any usage of emergency supplies has to be reported. Yeah, that makes sense. What if you looked out there and just saw Cassie slowly floating out? Oh my gosh. There are 2 suits, you're right, Say, actually. Well, it has an emergency button. Oh no. We don't want to go out into space just yet. Back to the central hub. Let's see here. I do think, since I started a little bit, I started the time that I was going to, but we did the stuff with Wander earlier, and that started like, what, 6 o'clock-ish? It was pretty early start today. And I know that if we go find somebody else in some other room to talk to, there's going to be a lot more dialogue and like fun, silly things, and I'm going to get caught up in it. And I probably shouldn't go much longer tonight, unfortunately, so that my sleep schedule and stuff, and some other things I need to do so I can get that done and try to take care of myself so that I can take care of other stuffs. There's probably going to be some other hot military lady. I think that's a distinct possibility, Say. So what I think we're going to do, I think it would be a good time for us to find somebody to raid out to. I really appreciate everybody that hung out and everybody who was here earlier for Wanderling Spirits stream and birthday stuff, and I appreciate all the raids, and I'm looking forward to playing more of this. I'm loving this, so we're absolutely going to play more of it. I hope that all of y'all have a good rest of your evening. Thank you for joining me for my first visual novel on stream, and for such a fun time. Thank you for celebrating Wander earlier. Thank you to everybody who hung out with us. Thank you to everybody who was so kind to Wander with gift subs and biddies and just everything. It was a wonderful night with wonderful friends, and y'all were a big part of that. We couldn't have had the fun that we had tonight if it wasn't for y'all being willing to spend time here and with my friends, so it means a lot. And Ahi, thank you as well. Thank you for making such a cool Fugi too for Wander. Ahi, very, very cool. All y'all take care of yourselves. Yeah, Radishu, thank you for posting that there too. That's who we're going over to. I will see all of y'all soon. Tomorrow I'll be back with some BG3 with Felina, and then I'll see where we can continue this throughout the rest of the week. I think it'll take, like I said, at least a couple more streams for us to get through this. But I'll see all y'all later. Take care of yourselves. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Hex. Hi. Bye. Bye. Hi, Hex. Bye, Hex. Be nice to Radish. Be nice to Radish. Bye.